Hi, thanks for watching my video on visible banking. Today I've got the great pleasure to spend a few minutes with Carlo Panella, the head of sales at Webank. Ciao Carlo.
Hi everybody.
Come stai?
Bene, grazie.
Good, molto bene, molto bene. That's as good as it gets on the Italian side. Sorry about that, yeah? So I've been following what Webank has been, doing in social media for quite some time. Twitter since 2007, Facebook, you've done quite a bit there. You've got your blog, the web TV. You launched the Webank project recently. Customer support on Twitter. We'll cover some of those initiatives. It's okay with you. First of all, how important is social media for Webank?
For Webank, social media is part of strategy that is a strategy that is opening the boundaries of the bank to our customers. And when I say to our customers, I'm not speaking about only about our Webank existing customers, let me say, but speaking about the whole market. So what we are trying to do with Webank is to build the bank using, or not using, but working with other people to define which are the priorities, which are the best products they need, and which are the things that they would like to find in a new bank.
Okay.
So for us, social media is not a media, but it's a way of working.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's a way to be more transparent and to better engage with the market, basically.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, now that's very exciting, yeah. We talk about specifics, like the WePad project, which I think crystallize what you just said very well, yeah, involving people, yeah.
Yeah.
In terms in terms of structure and resources, so where does social media sit in the organization?
Social media is within the commercial department. That is one of the 5 key areas of our bank, and is within the communication department. We got communication. We split communication between direct communication and, let me say, institutional communication. And social media for us is in this second area. This is because for us it's not something that is dedicated to sell something, but it's something that is dedicated to create a relationship with the market. So it's not something that is commercial, but it's something that is, let me say, more close to positioning than commercial.
Okay, it makes sense, yeah. Do you have a team dedicated to social then?
Yes and no. Yes, because we've got 2 people working all day long on this social media. Not only social media, sorry, on a social approach on doing bank, let me say. This is probably a better definition. And no, because as we create and define the new initiatives with this small team, then we deploy them within the area of the company that is that has the responsibility to carry over things. So you were mentioning Twitter. We will talk about it later on, but the idea was born in this area. But then the management on a daily basis is done in the customer care. So yes, because they think about something new. No, because all the things are done in the right area of the company.
Okay, no, it makes sense, yeah. Did you manage to find your intern, social media intern you were recruiting on your blog?
We have been recruiting in the past. Now it's a quite stable team, let me say. But we are looking for somebody else, and we're launching in the social media the idea for somebody who was interested in coming with Webank.
I saw the blog post here. Congratulations on that. Okay, so let's talk about content strategy. And you touched a very important point. The right people, the right teams in the organizations would be in charge of producing the right content for the right channel.
Perfect.
Twitter, you launched in 2007, if I'm correct. You got roughly a bit more than 1,000 followers, right?
Right.
And in March, or officially, I guess, a bit later, yes, you launched, in May, you launched customer support.
Right.
And you did it in a very innovative way, to some extent that you launched 4 dedicated accounts.
Yes.
Could you please talk us through the approach, the vision?
Yes. We decided to first just a note about what you said on the date. We at account in March and launched the service in May because we wanted to be sure that we had people trained to be able to tweet an answer to a technical problem instead of saying things that didn't make too much sense. We did a specific kind of media. That's why we took some time. The time we thought it was necessary to lead people doing their job on Twitter. Because as I told you before, we have our approach is to make people who are in charge of an activity in the company do the same company on the social media. So the 4 people, the 4 accounts are managed by 4 guys that work for us, and they do this job and they do other jobs in customer service. So they typically answer to emails, normally emails, let me say, written by customers, and they've got their Twitter account always opened, and retweet to the customers if they have any question. So they let me say, they work in a sort of time sharing. They are always on with Twitter, but of course we don't have too many Twitters so far, so they have time to spend on other activities. So since we have people who are used to write emails, we have to train them to teach them how to condensate an email into 160 characters.
Of course, no, which is a different exercise. It can be quite tricky sometimes. Yeah.
It is.
But can you tell us why you decided to have those 4 accounts instead of one central and unique account for customer support?
Because we decided to bring on the social media the same strategy that we use on the phone. So if you call Webank, probably you will hear somebody who is saying, "Good morning, I'm Carlo. Can I help you?" So the same thing you have to find the same thing on Twitter or any other different channel. That is a chat when you are dealing with somebody directly.
Okay, yes.
Because
personalized, actually, at the extreme.
Yes, absolutely. Since we are a web bank, we don't have any physical branch or physical person going to the customers or looking at the customer. We try to personalize the relationship each time there is the possibility to do it.
Okay. Yeah. No, the reason I ask is that it's tricky to build 4 accounts for customer support because the volume of, as you said, requests is still quite low. You're not the only one. In France, same, for instance, BNP Paribas, they had a different approach, but they still don't experience a huge volume of requests. So I think your positioning is very interesting. Well done then on customer support. Yeah. We're talking about content here, content strategy, right? Twitter, so customer support is there. You've got a main account for Webank, yeah? And you've got a Facebook page. Yeah? On Twitter, I noticed that roughly you're posting like roughly 2 times a day on average on the Webank account. And on Facebook, roughly 5 to 10 times a week. That's correct. Do you have a proper content strategy in place?
Yes, we do. And we are actually changing a little bit our strategy because we started some years ago with willing to learn how to be on this media. Because bank is doing banking is not always easy in terms of perception of people. So it is difficult to forecast what people are going to say. So first of all, we had an approach, a listening approach, let me say. Then we turned into quite an institutional or educational approach. So if you look on our Facebook page, basically, the first posts were on research or on news on the banking sector in general or on mobile banking in general. So something that was dealing more with the positioning and high-level banking sector issues more than with banking itself. Then as we began to make some, and then we've seen that the number of fans of Webank starting to grow. Then as we began a strategy, a co-marketing, let me say a strong co-marketing strategy, dealing with different partners in electronics, travels, and many different sectors, we began to give the news on these things to our followers. And as we've seen that they like this kind of information, so not only institution, but also some concrete advantages for the customers, then we decided to change a little bit our content strategy, turning into something that is, let me say, not more commercial, but something that is more in touch with Webank. So, which are the news of Webank? I mean, we don't launch a new service every week, of course. What we do every week is a new promotion, a new deal, something that can be interesting for our followers. So we are still going on with our institutional part, but we we are putting also all the news regarding the tax, the interest rates, about the new products that we are launching. So it became a channel of communication with our customers, also because in this way we have an immediate feedback from our fans about what we are launching on the market. And we have the opportunity to discuss with them about these things. Sometimes they are happy, sometimes they are not. This is a very, especially when they're not happy, is a big opportunity for us because it's a way to discuss with them and explain to them why we choose to do something or not do anything, something else.
Of course, yeah. And you position yourself as very innovative, at the forefront of technology, and you share a lot of news as well on Facebook about new handsets, so mobile, technological, like news, Twitter, Facebook, so which is quite unique as well in banking.
Yeah, because that's our daily bread. I mean, if we want to stay on the market looking after tomorrow, we have to. We must be keep in touch with all the news, because to find the low signals to understand whether there are some risks for us or not. So and to understand which are the channels, the device that we have to support with our service. We started with mobile some years ago. Now we cover iPhone, iOS, so iPhone and iPad, of course, as we discuss later on. We support Nokia Symbian, we support Android, we support Motorola, we support BlackBerry, and we have to. Now it's using the mobile channel as an example. If you don't have the real feeling of which is the future of each platform, you will find yourself developing 10 different platforms, and then after 6 months killing 4 out of the 10 platforms you developed. So it is important to know, just to know where to go. And then, as we study, let me say, we want to share our knowledge with our customers.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's unique, and it demonstrates, and you're online as well, so as you said, it's one key trait of Webank. You demonstrate your willingness to be aware, as you said, of what's happening and what's coming next. So it's different. I think it's a good strategy. Yeah. We talk about the WePad project. Maybe I'd like to shoot a very short video about that after that one. ROI. Return on investment of social media today at Webank?
We don't calculate it.
Or metrics? KPIs?
We as metrics we use let me say the typical metrics for this kind of environment. So the number of followers, the number of fans. But what is more important is for us is that, as I told you before, this is not. We don't consider social media as a media. We consider it as a way to work. So we are working on some new projects using the techniques and the platforms of social media, but without looking at the number of fans or number of discussions. Yes, because it is important, because it gives you the feeling of how much people are interested in what you are launching as a new trend. But what we are seeing is that banking is not so, let me say, it's not so interesting for people, because unless you create some problems to people, bank do not, generally speaking, bank do not create empathy. People use bank. It's difficult that people is falling in love with banks. This can happen with biscuits, can happen with something technology tools, but not with the bank. So if you look at the numbers in itself, you will find a situation that is that has small numbers. But and this is we have made some benchmarking with our colleagues of other Italian banks, and we are well positioned. What is more important is what is coming back to us in terms of positioning. Just because we are speaking about this, because Webank probably succeeded in getting a strong positioning in this area. And this positioning, you were mentioning the WIPAD project, we'll talk about it later on, is one of the examples of the way in which we intend social media. So it's a media because, of course, we are a company, we have to do business. But the way in which we decided to do business is with people. So social media for us is a platform, and it is difficult to calculate the ROI of a platform. It's too early so far. We have made some experiments. Now I don't remember the figures, but we launched one initiative when we measured everything, and we have made a benchmark between the cost per lead coming from advertising and cost per lead coming from social. And what we've seen is that social is bringing less leads in this case, but with a very low cost per lead. So it's difficult to say which is ROI now. We don't have the critical mass so far. But it's interesting for us because it's a kind of laboratory that we are looking at very, very sharply, with a lot of attention.
No, fair enough. I mean, it's important to start now. So I always salute the banks, which even though they don't have key metrics or household data, understand the importance of starting and experimenting. So we're going to come later, the household data again. We'll talk about the WIPAD in a very short, separate video. But what's next in social media for Webank?
Well, Webank is working on two items. First is to replicate the WIPAD project, but without saying nothing. So for us, one of the key priority is product development, and we are trying to find out how to replicate what we've done with the WIPAD project, let me say, with a strong mediatic return, without giving any return, but just to develop the applications and not on a mobile, generally speaking. So this is one of the two things. The second one, and this is an anticipation because people will see online, will be the customer care on Facebook. So we will evolve from Twitter to Facebook, and because Facebook probably will be a place in which people will have more complete answers because of the platform itself, of course.
Of course, yeah. Okay, that's exciting then, yeah? Well, thanks for your time. We'll do a short video on the WePad. I think it's worth spending a video on that. So thanks a lot, Carlo. Thanks everybody, and you'll see the coverage on Visible Banking. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Grazie
Bye.
mille.
Grazie a te. Ciao. Ciao.